my work shows up in every newspaper in every country in the world, except 2 places. Right here in the United States and North Korea. My work has been blackballed here. I'm everywhere. I'm blackballed on my own university, in my own place. I'm born and raised in Utah.
We should exchange numbers.
Yeah, everybody knows me around the world.
Know more about your work.
First off, the greatest human rights activist in the world is a nun named Sister Megan Rice. She's sitting in a prison in New York City. Do you know Megan?
I don't.
It's something a person like you, because your great work that you've done in the military industrialized prison complex has been incredible, by the way. I really love your work that you've done in the prison complex. I report on the ecological catastrophe at Fukushima, Japan. That's why I've been blackballed. And I've been told by CNN right to my face. The rest of the world will tell you, and you know this as well as I know, as I travel abroad, I'm everywhere. They will say, you as CNN, working for CNN, are nothing more than a propaganda machine for the military-industrialized war complex. Why, as anti-nuclear activists, and it's not just me, it's all of us anti-nuclear activists who are reporting on the ecological catastrophe at Fukushima, Japan, which is the greatest ecological catastrophe in human history, why are we so dogma and will refuse to, and we blackball, literally blackball anybody who freelance reports of Fukushima, Japan, or the reality of the nuclear complex?
Right. Well, thank you for your statement and your question. There's no denying that Fukushima is devastating beyond comprehension. And why it's not covered more, I honestly don't know. There's a lot that isn't covered in the American media. And the only thing I can say in response to that, I mean, there's a lot that's covered, there's a lot that isn't covered. Networks, at the end of the day, have to get ratings. And I can stand up here and proudly exclaim and extol the importance of substantive reporting about things that are happening in the world and here in America. But quite frankly, if my shows don't rate, they're going to be pulled off the air. I think that there's a change that's happening, and I think that Americans are starting to demand more substantive reporting, and you're seeing things like NPR, VICE, different outlets that are sort of outside the mainstream start to gain popularity. But at the end of the day, a lot of our major outlets are corporate-driven, ratings-driven, and so that is one of the reasons why I think that there is a lack of really substantial and substantive coverage about things that are happening in the world. I mean, when you watch our news networks, very often the highest rated shows are these people who are yelling at each other and telling you what to think, right? They pit a hardcore right-wing conservative against an ardent and impassioned liberal, and they allow the two of them to fight it out and call that news. And that makes me enraged. I mean, I sometimes am yelling at my TV saying where do you get the authority to pontificate, about these things about which you really don't know? You're getting this from your own colleagues who probably have never been there. But nevertheless, that is the state of our news today, and it's really unfortunate. My show, I don't actually work for CNN. We sell our show to CNN, and CNN does really try to maintain a neutral position on most things. But that's the only way that I can try to answer that question. And while I have not heard of that nun who is in the prison, I'm a huge fan of Catholic nuns, even though I'm not a religious person. One of my mentors in life is a little Catholic nun in Los Angeles, and Pope Francis, who I am a big fan of, has just made some pretty bold moves in relation to the conflict that the Vatican has had with nuns in recent years, and so I'm hopeful that things will change because the nuns I do know are truly doing God's work and really doing things to better the lives of people at the lowest level of the economic strata.
I walked from Los Angeles to Diablo Canyon recently with the Buddhist monk to Diablo Canyon to protest Fukushima. But Megan Rice broke into Y-12 at Oak Ridge, Tennessee, which is the other headquarters right here in our backyard They're trying to bring in 250,000 tons of what we call DU6 right here to the Energy Solutions dumps as we speak. And I'm the only one that will protest. And no local media will give me the time of day. But if you would, please check
Check
out Megan Rice if you get a chance and understand the story. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.